Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset. Let's go. Bitcoin pumping to the upside. Let's go, baby. Did you make gains with the lifer? We sold, baby, into that green pump. You got to get the gains. You got to pay yourself. Don't play yourself. Pay yourself. We're getting this money every single day, baby. Yes. Yes, we did. We won again last night. Let's go. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you were in my trading group, you won with me last night. We did it again. I did a weekly screen share too, and I actually gave the trade while I was in the weekly screen share with my buddies, my lifers. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Really means the world to me. And you know, it really hit me what this stream is all about today. What my business is about. I sell a Discord subscription service for $99 a month, right? That's the core of my business. Why? Why do I do that? It's a motivational, mind-bending, conscious-changing Discord. It's not a trading group like every one other trading group in the crypto space or the trading space. It's far different than that. It actually brings you to the core of who you are. Ask yourself, where do you want to go in life, and are you ready to challenge yourself to become great? That's what my Discord's about. That's what I'm about. That's what I do every single day. That's what this entire stream is about. And it hit me today. That's the crux of my business. It's bigger than people realize. Because I hit me is trading is about who we are. And until we build ourselves up inside, we're never going to be great traders. We're going to be only as good as the amount we believe we could achieve as traders. So once we expand our minds to who we are, we can expand our trading portfolio, our accounts, and begin to take things from the 100,000, to the 2,000, the 10,000, the 100,000, and to the $1 million and up, right? This stream is about you changing yourself from the very beginning. This stream's about struggling in the 9-to-5 and not wanting to be in it anymore because I changed myself. So people come to YouTube channels to learn about what they want to learn about. You should listen to people, okay, that have done it before. I have done it in trading, right? Through trading, I have turned myself into a multimillionaire. It's happened, done. Sorry, not trying to brag, facts. Listen to people that have done what you want to achieve. And forget the money. I am free, mentally, spiritually. I love God. I have a great connection to God. I love my family. I have a good connection with my wife. Had a really nice morning with my wife. Everything is going well. I got 3 kids that I love. My family is everything. You guys are everything to me. You're my family. This channel is everything. And I just wanted to, break down why we're here, what this channel really is about. It's about showing you the mental changes you can make so you can become a better trader, right? Now, this channel will help you in anything, in any type of sales you're in. I don't care if you're a car salesman. I don't care if you're in software. I don't care if you're in the motivational world. I don't care if you're a trainer. I don't care if you're just someone working that wants to get out of the 9-to-5, whoever you are. If you want to progress and change your life, this channel is for you. I will speak the truth, I will motivate you, and I'll do it every single day without a day off to prove to you that you can be as consistent as I am, because I am not superhuman. I am not a cyborg. I'm a human being. God gives me the energy to achieve consistency, and you have the ability to do the same. Let's keep it moving. Let's break it down. Bitcoin, let's talk about what happened last night. Let's talk about the trade, crazy spike right there too, that kind of caught me, got off guard. I had just sold, but I started making the flag before it pumped. I started to look, I was like, hey, it looks like something could brew there, a bit of a double bottom almost, and we got the pump to the upside. All right, but let's kind of talk about what I saw last night, what's happening inside these charts, and break down basically the 4-hour time frame. God bless all my beautiful people. And I was trading on BitUnix. Kind of hard not to trade on that, the way they make it so fun. I tell you, man, these other exchanges got to get the fun little noises and stuff. They're awesome. But I'm trading on BitUnix here on the 4-hour time frame last night. I had entered on the 1 hour. I think about right here, they stopped me out. And I saw a movement again on the 4-hour time frame, and I was like, man, that's bullish. The stochastics had flipped a little bit. And so we longed last night in the trading group right here with a stop at the wick, right? And that was it. Take profit could have been higher, but the idea was once we hit the 200 MA, you got to be taking profits. That's a key area that I'm always like. So the first wick that got close, I was out. The secondary move caught me off guard. I didn't trade it. So we woke up to gains. I made this trade last night, and I do a weekly screen share every single week. where I go over my portfolio, talk about all the things that I've done, go over my ideas. I talk about where I've been in life, how I got to where I'm at. We had a really amazing screen share last night. It was one of the best in my mind. Like I almost say that every week, but it was amazing. And then I also said, hey, I'm going to long Bitcoin in front of everyone, together. I said, hey, I'm going to get back in and long this. And had you longed with me during the screen share, you would have woken up to gains just like I did. Like, it was just pure gains. Like, while we slept, money was just pouring into our accounts. And then when we woke up, I sold the pump. And now I'm here. And this is all true. These are facts. No BS. This is a bit of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, is it not? Break to the upside, a break above the 200 MA, and we are gone. Starting to look pretty scrumptious to me. So could there be more bullishness today? It's possible. We take a look at BOOKMAP. Link in the description of BOOKMAP. It's a subscription service. Pretty awesome to show you where liquidity lies. You could add other indicators too as well. All right. And we see 74,000 is still a little level down there. And if you can open it up too and see, it shows that we got some liquidity at 82, 81.5, 79K. So we're not out the water yet. This is people that have longed, and these are their liquidation points, right? We go on the high side and a little bit there at 82.6. And we got some good liquidity up there at 83,000. A good red bar there at 83.2. And all the way up to 83.6. So it suggests we could go to about 83,005, 83.6 if we get the pump to the upside here on BOOKMAP. But only time will tell on the BOOKMAP. All right. But that's just showing us kind of where the liquidity is. It's back and forth, but it ain't bad. I'm a 200 MA guy. Look, we've tapped it. We've got to rip back above this 200 MA on the 4-hour time frame. You can see how it's given us a problem 2 times in a row here for Bitcoin. All right. So let's do our top down analysis like we do every single day. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. And I'll make you a better salesman. I don't care in any profession you're in. I could go to any single company and transform their entire sales team, because it's about empowering each individual person in the sales team to believe that anything is possible within their realm. Once we've unlocked that mind, it's like, it continues to grow, and then everybody kind of and then you have a mastermind when you have multiple people and believing in what you're doing. You know what I mean? You have to have a product that you really love. If you don't love the product, if you're just shilling, then it's just not going to work. That's why I can't shill. I can't shill. My mom was so good to me. She loved me so much, right? She did. I had a good mom, and I was the only boy in the family. If anyone here was the only boy, put a 333. But when you're the only boy and the youngest, you get babied. And I had 2 sisters and a mom, so they definitely babied me. And so I know what love is all I got to say. And through that, I can only kind of live through a passionate life because I was given so much love growing up. I really can't live a life where love isn't my kind of number one frequency, And so I can't sell things I don't love. I can't really associate with things that don't make sense to me, if that makes any sense to you, right? So, I like to trade. I love leverage trading. I love spot trading. I like swing trading. I like it. I love it. I'm passionate about it. You see what I'm saying? Bang, bang, bang. Bitcoin Las Vegas coming up May 27th. Everybody, you got to jump into Bitcoin Las Vegas. Here is the QR code. It's waiting for you. All you got to do is click that with your phone. If you're on the computer right now, you just pick up your phone and click on it. Makes it simple and easy. Go to the link below too as well. So awesome. So amazing. Go to Bitcoin Las Vegas. Join Lifer. Come on, man. We're going to be blessed. I am getting back from Dubai 15 days before that. Then I'm moving for the summer, right, to the summer location. And then, and I'm still going to make time to fly to Vegas and back in a 4-day period. So if I can do it, and I got 3 kids, a wife, and so much going on, and if I can do it, you can do it. No excuses. So come on now. If I can make it there with all the things that I got going on, then so can you. Look, this is a broadening falling wedge. I didn't even see it till now. You see it? These do break up 68% of the time as well. Can we get the move? And honestly, still in this broadening falling wedge, right? This one never really... And these break to the upside as well. They both give me a target, back to 96,000. And every time I get something, it's that 96 is calling our name. Again, every time I get even excitedly bullish, the next day we have someone comes out and says something, and we have the nastiest dump in my life, and then we're back down here, and everyone's like, oh. So I don't know. I'm always just like, but I go by what the charts are telling me. This is interesting. Two broadening falling wedges that both, they are uptrends. The daily looks beautiful, the way the stochastics are reset with the double bottom and we have a very, in my mind, right here on the RSI, I mean, that swing down, that is daily bullish divergence as you're swinging up. And sometimes you can't see, it looks a little like, you're like, is that divergence? I don't know. So you double click the RSI and you will verify that is a definite uptrend when you're really looking at it closely. That's a downtrend in price action. That is bullish divergence. And on the daily, the last time I had some bullish divvy that strong was right here. You do not use wicks when you're fighting divergence. You use candle bodies. And here you are again with some bullish divergence there. That's a downtrend. That's a beautiful uptrend. And we had it here too. I always remember back here. See, I learned this back here when the daily did this. I'll always remember this. I called it like a double divergence, but you can see we clearly had the uptrend on the RSI with a downtrend in price action, and we ripped back to the upside. I called this bullish divergence here, and then the daily hit it, and then the hidden bullish on the weekly. If you were watching my channel back then, everyone was bearish. Grayscale said they were going to unlock price action. I called along and bought Bitcoin here and Phantom and called some crazy. It was insane, and we made massive amounts. And I tell you right now, this was a short squeeze you wouldn't believe, because so many people believe this was a shoulder head shoulder. They were saying it was a bear flag breaking down. Grayscale is going to unlock. There was so much bearishness and calls for 10K, calls for 15K. And I bought a half a Bitcoin in front of the world, said this is it. Even though I had loaded up down there, I still wanted to prove to everyone that I knew that dip was worth it. I had pulled a 618 Fibonacci, and we had the hidden golden pocket, and we banged. So, again, it is what it is. Let's move forward now to the weekly here. The past is in the past. I get it. But I want you to learn. And I can only learn by showing you all these different ideas. Look at Bitcoin dumping hard now. 81,696. Let me get into the smaller time frames for you just to see if there is a long or a short there. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, and you're too far from the 21. Things were acting strange there. I'm going to let this kind of do its thing, but that was a short back to the 21-day moving average. I mean, you got too far away. Beautiful pump, though. I sold right here and then thought I had missed out. Thank gosh I did not. And that's why you got to pay the trader and walk away. So if you made the trade with me last night and just sold, bang. XCN, I'm so happy that I made that play for XCN, and it's one of the only coins I added, and it's booming. We're going to talk about XCN in a second. Something's brewing with it behind the scenes here with XCN. Definitely going on, so definitely something you want to pay attention to. Shout out to the new members. Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to give memberships Reliable J, but you did. That's insane. And look at all these new people that came in, all the green. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Clark. Shout out to Epoch. Shout out to PVD. Shout out to Ali Can. Dana Schwartz. Dana, I love you. You've been around a long time. Keeping it real since podcast. J Cube and Mr. Z. Zach Berkowitz and Clark Morning. Epoch Recursion. And Mr. Z. Reliable J is reliable, man. The guy shows up all the time and gives so much to the channel. Who here made gains with the lifer? Who was in the group and made the trade with me last night in the weekly screen share, and you woke up to gains and you were like, wow, and you paid yourself? I want to see a 444 if you did all three. You were at the screen share, you got the education. You didn't make the trade because of me, but you got the education. It made sense to you. You took the trade, and bang, you're ready to rock. All right. XCN, not XEN. XCN. Yeah. The CCC. And I want to see the 444s in the comment section here. Let me know. We got Yerlich, man, you nailed it because you've been paying attention. You went to class. We got Crypto King. This dude's been dropping $100 super chats all week long. You're a blessed individual. God bless you, man. You didn't have to do that. We got Sicko Bear. We got Birkin. We got Cash Oak, the Daily Challenge. We got John Connor. People that are paying themselves. They came to the weekly screen share. They were students of the game, and they paid themselves. I woke up to the games. I was still in the trade, but since I'm getting max deliveries, I missed the fact that it's dumping. Just raise that stop loss the second you wake up. That's what I did, man. I was looking at it for a second. We're gonna have to have a call. I'm gonna get your mindset flip. We're gonna show you how to get out of there, man. Ben at work makes me always miss the dumps. Hey, man. Hey, man. I hope you move that stop loss into position. I woke up at 7 a.m., 7:30, moved the stop loss into position about, 8:30, 8:40, and then boom. But I get it. It's not easy. It's not easy. All right, let's do the top-down analysis. So the weekly's in a falling wedge. And remember, even last week, I remember saying this and going over this. And wow, it's Friday already where we do our top-down analysis. I can't believe it's Friday already. Is it really Friday? It's just strange. It was the fastest Friday to Friday that I've ever seen. My birthday came and went like this, and it's over. It was like, wow. Anyway, last week we talked about it, and I said, don't be surprised if we have to come back down to the bottom of the channel one more time. I said, that's still a beautiful falling wedge. And I remember kind of having cooler heads prevail there. So look, I mean, if you took even this wick, Fibonacci move up there, I like this because that's the beginning of this real big impulse, you see? And it says we hit the 618 golden pocket, basically almost either way. And we've bounced now off the Fibonacci retracement. Extremely healthy fib level 2. And if we're going to make a bigger cycle, then we're going to start seeing what we see on the 1 hour, on the daily, on the weekly. The weekly's going to start showing us something, and that's what happened. I mean, bigger money came in, and we started consolidated for 100 days now. Look, Bitcoin didn't make, it's, no. You see what I mean? The last time it consolidated anything like that was something like this, something like that. This one too, before the bigger pump, but it was a long, And again, money printing was involved. A lot of money came into the market. Look at what's happened, everyone. Like, I got into this market and 20K was the high, and we believed that we would eventually, I sat here, I was live streaming around here saying, hey, September of 2019, I'm live streaming, and I'm like, I said, I see us eventually hitting, breaking 20,000. Then I kept streaming. And if you watch my channel, crazily enough, I was drawing this. I swear you can go back and watch it. And I called this breakout here before it happened. I said, I see Bitcoin breaking out. I said, I see like 27, 29. I got somewhere between 27 and 29K. And then I saw this inverted head and shoulder too, if you watch my channel. Because man, that's how I trade. And then this was a cup and handle, you see? Then it broke out. It did the retest. You know how I love my retests. And then we were gone. And the moving averages got tight as well, which is what I trade. Tight moving averages. We were low on the stochastic where the entries were right. Boom, boom on the shoulders. The right shoulders are low stochastic. I put all this together for you. Anyway, so I was calling Bitcoin to 27,000 at 6K. You have to understand how long this channel's been running. We just been doing damage, man. And I haven't been drawing stuff like this before. And we were talking about a move. Look at that. And it did everything that we kind of played around with. We had the cup and handle drawn way before it happened back in the day. It's just been crazy. And here we are again with possibly the next bigger move here for Bitcoin. Hidden bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Really beginning to be triply confirmed at this point. I'm still open-minded. We could have a nasty dump. You have to understand. See, that's, and then be like, wait, you were just, what? I'm open-minded as a trader. As a trader, you can't tell yourself you know what's happening. See, I'm going to change the way you think about technical analysis and the way you even judge. See, most people are going to want someone to be like, I need to have the answers right now. He needs to tell me long or short. I'm going to show you the highest probability, and I'm going to make a trade. And that's how I tell you, through my actions. My subconscious mind will translate the information, and I'll take an action. That's how you know what I do. My analysis is my analysis, but once I take an action, that's how I've translated the information. You want to see how I translate the information? If you're trying to extrapolate the most data from my channel, right? Actions speak louder than words. My dad always said that. That's why I buy Bitcoin at levels. Look, I bought Bitcoin at 84K. I still got it. I bought more since then. I haven't stopped buying Bitcoin. I continue to do what the richer people than me do. I don't do, the people poorer than me are not buying Bitcoin. They're scared, they're worried, they're panic selling. The people way richer than me, wealthier than me, are buying more Bitcoin. So I'm going to be doing what the wealthier people are doing, because that's how you get wealthy, right? I mean, it just makes sense to me, right? That's pretty common. That's common sense, but it's not so common to a lot of people. Like, I break things down very simply when things like, because everyone be like, what do I do? I'm not sure what to do. Like, I'm scared. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do here should be taken as financial advice. You know what I mean? My name's Sam Price. What's your name? Nice to meet you. I hope you're having a good day. God bless you with light, love, and positivity, and hope you're living your best. Just for all the people that are just jumping on into the stream, it's a good time, about 10:30 when people come on in. So anyway, the idea behind that is you got to just, you got to push forward every day no matter what. But the idea behind Bitcoin is this. I keep buying it, man. I kept buying it, and my actions speak louder than my words. I could give you TA all day. I'm going to show you when I actually make a move. And I don't make you pay for the Discord. A lot of times I do it right here, live on stream. There's a lot of things that you don't see. I do work 7 days a week. The Discord is unbelievable. If you want to jump on in, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Cryptolifer.com. Go to subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription. I can't wait to see you in there. And there's even a course in there that people will charge you $2 to $3 grand. You could take for $99. It's waiting for you in there. There's a place where you can post your charts and we can critique them for you and help you. First time you can feel open and safe. It's a safe space. It's awesome. It's a good discipline vibe. If you're serious about changing your life and learning how to trade, it's a great place. I'd like to see you in there. Just like if you were serious about getting an education in film, you go to film school. If you're serious about becoming, aquatic master, you go to Maritime Academy, whatever it is, marine biology. So this falling wedge, break it to the upside, $120,000 somewhere by July could happen. Might be extended a little bit to August. This is a possibility, everybody. We could get this beautiful leg to the upside. I love the ghost feed. You ever play with ghost feed? Wish it was more. I guess I should have filled it more. Oh, you can adjust it now, right? That would be sweet, wouldn't it? And it makes some type of inverted head and shoulder, breaks on out, turns it into like some type of ascending triangle, gives it more juice even. We plot 145,000 going into February of 2026, and we call it a day. Beautiful cycle. Bitcoin rips up, and we just have a wonderful bull run after all the pain we've endured. Or is it mass pain? We take out the low and go into a bear market. Both things are possible, sad to say. It is possible we get rejected. We bear, boom, we break that high shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we have to come down somewhere here. What would be the measured move of that shoulder if it really happened, something like that? Like the easy one would be like 19K. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I just wanted to kind of have some fun with the long-term idea here. Let's continue to move forward throughout the day now. But my channel can't be like everybody else's, especially on a Friday with lower volume. All right. And more memberships being gifted. This is absolutely insane. The Crypto King throws down 50 memberships, I think at $4.99 a pop. I mean, I'm trying to do the math here. I think it's about $250 he just threw down on the channel Dude, you didn't have to do it, but you did. This guy's the king of kings. Shout out to the Crypto King, man. I don't know why you're so good to me, but you know, I do know why. God is great. God sends beautiful people into my life. I show up every single day, and I deserve to be loved because I love you. And so, hey, I'll take the love, man, and I'll give it right back. So God bless you, Crypto King. Thank you so much, man. You made me smile. You made a lot of other people smile. And now there's a bunch of more people with green names. Shout out to Jutang. Shout out to Sweet Bid McGee. And grab that gift, everybody, and jump on in. You got it. Unbelievable. Everyone can grab it. Grab it. You have to know how to do it. You have to like right click and say receive gift or something like that. There's a way to do it. All right. And it's just a YouTube membership that gives you like a little, I'm going to do like live streams to members only. After today, I'm going to do a members only live stream. I have to. I always say I'm going to do one and I'm like, I forget about it. So I got to do it. Happy B-Day, Sam. Best wishes to you and your sweet family. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay, moving forward. I got to kind of keep it moving here. So let's go back down to the 5-day chart. The 5 days looking pretty good. And what we're looking for is the weekly. We're looking for tweezer bottoms. We're looking for in 2 days. And we've been here before, and it's shattered our dreams. We've had it. This candle was hugely green, remember? This candle was up here. It was a bullish engulfing. Everything was amazing. This candle was huge. I still can't believe it. Like, this candle opened and was just massively green. Everything looked great. And then that Tuesday, man, it just... But, you know, we've slowly started our way back to the upside here. Even some bullish divvy kind of slightly on the weekly, if you look at it there, which is strong. This is strong. This is strong. And what I'll do is I'm just going to take away, or I'll move it over a bit. I'll move it over. Sorry, because people are like, he's on the analysis. We'll just move that over for a second there. Hey, I love the love. I'm not going to stop the love. So the weekly, we want to make sure it closes above the open, and I believe it was $78,430 even, and it is here. And how do I know that? You hover here, you have open, high, low, and close. You want to be looking at that open when I go over it. That opens $78,430 for BTC. All right, beautiful. So now we're going to move, and now Christian Michelet gifted 10 lifer memberships. It's getting crazy. People are getting crazy with it. I love y'all. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but you did. May God bless each and every one of you. Now I have to do a members only stream, and we're gonna do some cool stuff there. I owe it now. I owe it back to you guys, and so we got to do a members only stream. We're gonna do like some deep down on something cool where I teach like one skill that I'm, you know, and we're focused on one indicator. We'll change your life. We'll do something pretty cool. That just makes you an exclusive lifer on YouTube, all right? It's not like you get into the Discord or anything. I don't want people getting too excited here, all right? But it gives you a different name, gives you a little star, makes you kind of part of it. Like, you know, you get a little more of a badge here. Even I like that. I was on a channel, someone helped, you know, I liked it. It was cool. Anyway, let's move forward. 5-day chart, also tweezer botting with a nice higher area too, 79,470. The 5-day chart had a nice open at 79,006. 3-day chart, beautiful double bottom, coincides with the weekly. I like it. At about 80K, you know, 79, you know, 78. Where was the open actually? Yeah, 78,430. Exactly. This candle exactly spot on with the weekly candle, the 3-day candle. It opened on the same exact day. They just coincided. And then here we are with the daily bullish divvy that we went over already, right? And some could even say, you know, that we were in this channel, we were retesting the top of it, which it looked like to me. We broke back inside, broke back out now, and it was all a fake out of this broadening falling wedge. I like the bigger picture because you can see that we're in also this bigger falling wedge, right? And we just got to break on out. But, you know, I see both things in it. In this universe, both can exist. See, that's what people don't realize. Like, everyone used to say, well, pattern trading is selective, but it's not even. It's more of like whatever you see. If you trade this, someone could even say it's still a retest. Look, it's still retesting the top. Technically, it's retesting this diagonal trend. Look at it. You can say it's boom. It never lost the diagonal trend. It's going to bounce on out. You see that? Pretty amazing. So for me, the more bearish scenario is that it's got to break through this. And honestly, why not? Because if we get above it, it just, you know, if I create heavier barriers for bullishness, it constrains the chart and it's better off. Like, for instance, if I just ride this retest and just buy here with a stop there, which is, I mean, you know, you could technically buy here with a stop below these 2 wicks and see if it can rip. Because there is some bullishness in the air here. And again, this is a broadening falling wedge now that we talked about. And this has a measured move to the upside. And this is how they do. They go 1, 2, they come down to the bottom, they come up, they bounce, and they break on out. All right? And you'd be like, what is he talking about? And it's the teaching moments. Another teaching moment by the Crypto Lifer. Here we are with a teaching moment. And let me show you what I'm talking about here with the broadening falling wedge. So the broadening falling wedge is a technical chart pattern that typically indicates a bearish bias, but it can also signal a potential bullish reversal if it occurs in a long-term uptrend. We've been in a long-term uptrend as far as I'm concerned. All right. And if you go to the image here and a broadening falling wedge. All right. And it's not a broadening rising wedge. It's this pattern right here. You see it? It goes up, comes up, comes up, comes down, comes up, and breaks on out right around there. We're getting that similarity here. Bitcoin, you know, something like this. See? This right here. And Bitcoin could be right here at this pivot point before a bigger move to the upside for sure. It can be 82,130 for BTC. Holding 82,000 ain't bad. The Dow Jones chilling, right? The DXY down 0.99%. Gold up 1.74%. All right. The S&P down 3.4%. So the S&P taking a hit. Bitcoin shorts down 7% on the 3S. So if you 3x shorted Bitcoin, you're down hard. All right. Total 2 up 2%. Total up 2.7%. All right. The S&P up 0.09%, 0.1%, a tenth of a percent. Ain't bad. All the altcoins up 1.89% on the day at $748 billion. All right. So can this 1, 2 higher low break us on out of here on the daily time frame? I would like to see if we can get a bullish engulfing candle today, but I'll take anything green with a tweezer bottom. Hold this tweezer bottom, but it'd be great if we can get bigger than this. All right. Nice bullish divergence on the daily, though, suggesting that we're going to come for this high, and that our next test is going to be 87,650 for Bitcoin. The 4-hour time frame is where we zero in on, and that's how we made our trade last night. It looked somewhat bearish, and I drew this just odd trend line and said we got to bounce here, and then I made a trade off that trend line. It's just crazy, right? Also, if you pull a Fibonacci, it was a beautiful 618 retracement, so I just traded the 618 fib and felt like we were going to get a bounce off of it. So if you're a fib trader, you didn't have to do anything but pull your fib and get into the 618. Or I didn't get in there. I got in right around here. Remember, I got stopped out of break even on the 1, got back in, and then bang. And that happened on the weekly screen share. Everyone saw me move my stop loss above, maybe a little bit into profit. Tiny bit, though. And then we got our move to the upside. Shout out to the 2,000 people here on the live. 488 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to get this education on a more, scaled, slow, scaled down, take the class. The 26th of April, I'll be live with you on a beautiful Saturday morning, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Hit the QR code right down over there to jump into class. I can't wait to see you there. I teach that class. I love it. It's a labor of love. It's awesome. After I teach it, I feel awesome. You guys love it. It's been a staple of my life. It's a live class. I could just sell recordings. I teach that. I love that. I teach that class live. Okay. Blessings on blessings, everybody. All right, so getting very tight inside this channel. 81,761 for Bitcoin. And honestly, it looks like we could get a beautiful move here to the upside as we're getting tight. Let me get rid of that fib now. It's got a lot going on. And just remove the moving averages for a split second here to just give me, and bring in my VRVP. So again, we also had a gap last night in the VRVP that gave me confidence to long. So, and I sold. I already sold, and bang. And that's what I teach. I teach my students how to get in, how to get out, and how to nail it. How not to be greedy too. Right? So in at 79,962. It went to 82,100. I sold right around there. A little bit, yeah. And so and then you're out, right? I could have made maybe 500. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it's like you let that puppy rip. I longed in hell for 8 hours, made 18%, right? It took again, this long took a while. I got stopped out of break even, had to get back in the same trade, basically. You see? This trade would have been fine had I not moved the stop loss to break even. It would have won. But it would have taken 16 hours. It was a long trade. And there it is right there. See, so far so good on the reversal at 3 p.m. So when we got down here, I said, I'm calling a reversal bounce here. And the nasty dump. I call basically the bottom. Attempting to catch this bounce here on the 1 minute. It was the 618 Fibonacci retracement. Understand? There's a method to, I know my fibs. I know my support of resistance. I know my VRVPs, which means VRVP means I'm trading just like an ICT student because I know exactly where the fair value gaps are. I'm understanding where money's going to. Understand? These are pockets of volume. That's where you're going to be attracted to liquidity. That's the liquidity pocket. This isn't, anyway. So you'll understand all the concepts if you'll learn your support of resistance with me, proper risk management with me. If you're struggling as a trader, you really got to join the trading group. Get class. I was struggling. I joined a trading group. It changed my life. I'm here now with you guys. Like, I found a disciplined mentor that I couldn't, turn away from. The man changed the way I thought about myself in the world. Sam, XCN and Swift work in tandem. They pump together. Cup and handle the 15. Worth a look. Thank you, Ali G. I respect you. And I'm going to take a look. All right. Bang, bang, bang. Sam, you're right, because sometimes it swings back the other way to and from, and you make less. And it's not that. You're 100% on Don't Be Greedy. 100%. Shout out to Crypto Cal. 82, man. Love you, brother. Been a long time, my friend. I hope everything's going well. We don't need a plan. I like it unprepared. Oh, next class is May 10th because I'll be in Dubai. Thank you for saying that. Sam is the type of guy that thought Fibonacci is the type of Asian spaghetti. Oh, man. It's Vegas Claw. Of course. The guy. Vegas Claw is the type of guy to make a joke only to make a joke. Oh. Hey. So, tight on the 4-hour time frame, right? Doesn't look amazing here for Bitcoin. But it doesn't look bad either. We're just tight. The moving averages are conjoining, getting together. There's a bit of a higher low here. It's also a slanted inverted head and shoulder. We did this on the daily, and we had a nice rippage to the upside for Bitcoin. And if you want to be really fancy to your family and friends, because they think you're like, when you call it a head and shoulder, they're going to look at you funny, but use the indicator and you can show them that, like, oh no, it's like, this is real. Like, it's a left shoulder, right shoulder. This is what we're going for. And the measured move is a 68% chance of a break to the upside, taking us to 89,867 for Bitcoin. So that's the play that the technical analysis is telling us. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I am not a soothsayer. So that's not me telling you it's going to happen. You understand? I am like a guy watching football showing you the play. And then if the football players make the play, you can't, it is what it is. Shout out to Sean. Thank you for the reminder. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. If you want to trade where we trade, links in the pinned comment up here. Weeks, Mexi, and Bit2Nex. All right. So here we go. MEXC has the least amount of fees of any trading exchange in the game. You can't pay less than MEXC. Weeks is a great runner-up to that. And then BitTinex is a little higher, but it has some awesome features that make it almost worthwhile. So they all kind of have a reason to be around, and it's great to have a backup. So the moving averages are getting tight. We're above the 200 MA here. I like the tightness for Bitcoin. And that tightness, it tells me that, hey, there's a chance I could even, I made close to 450. So my mind says, this is what I do. I don't know what you do, but this is what I do. So then I look at the parameters of the next trade. And it's a Friday with low volume. Not one of my, it's not I'm happy we made money on a Thursday night. Asleep. Usually it's Wednesday. It's very rare I do that, but it happened, right? I took the trade because the trade looked right. See, the charts told me what to do. It was what it was. We went from there. Okay. So Bitcoin very tight inside of this channel with a measured move to 89,986 is a very possibility here. So this is what I'm watching on the 4-hour. The stop really should be right there. Yeah, right there. Okay, wow, it's a 3-to-1. So that's the trade right there. But again, it could easily be a double top. A breakout above the 200 MA, but it may just be a ferocious rip. We're still kind of not where I want to be with the 21. What I would like is a stop hunt. They come down here, they grab some liquidity, right? They come back up on a wick. The 21 gets tapped and pulled up. We go and then we rip out. A break above the 200 and a retest of the 200 MA would be... And so really what I would love is a break above the 200. A move back to the 21-day moving average. The ideal trade would be a huge pump. Maybe I scalp it on those small time frames so I don't get too involved. So I see that we're bullish and I scalp like the 1 minute or the 5 in my other strategies. I get something out of it so I don't feel too left out. And then I wait for the bigger trade. And my bigger trade, I want price action to have, bang, boomed out. I want it to slowly come back up and I want the 21 to hit. That would be cool too if there is some type of fib there for maybe that impulse. 0.5, 0.618, and then we rip the length of this bigger move, like just boom, right? That's the next trade that I'm really looking for. So like I try to extend myself into the future in my mind. Now again, that may not happen. We may completely do this. We may make an M pattern, and now if we make the M, I'm going to be shorting because we're probably going to be below a 200 MA. And we're going to make a bear flag and a bearish retest, and my system's going to tell me to short the market. You see, the charts are going to tell you what to do. If you're in tune with the charts, look, this double bottom told me to long. We took it because I long double bottoms. I'm a simple guy. I do simple stuff, everyone. Everyone thinks it's crazy. So many times I had 100 indicators out there, and then my mentor showed me the way, and then I went back, and I was like, man, he did it again. He just called the double bottom. I was like, all he did was do the technical analysis, and I was doing 1,000 other things. And I said, if I could just slow down and focus and stay disciplined like my mentor, I said, I know I could win at this game. I said, I see this guy nailing it. I said, he nails it all the time. How does he do it? And my mind's like, because he's not a spazoid like you. He's not all over the place like you. I was like, he stays on one thing. And I was like, Sam, you got to discipline yourself. You got to stick to the script. So like when we traded this, we saw the double bottom. We called it out. I said, listen, I'm a simple guy. Double bottoms break out 68% of the time. Like your measured moves here, somewhere into this area, right? And again, there's a 200 moving average in there. You got to take that. So we may not have hit the bigger measured move. Why? Now, if you don't trade moving averages, you're going to be like, oh, we just hit this, support or resistance, which is possible, Remember, we even saw this shoulder, head, right shoulder. Bam. I mean, we've saw all this stuff. It's been crazy. It's been a ride. The TA showed us every single thing around the way. Look, this shoulder, head, right shoulder too. Dumb. The TA, honestly, TA has been so amazing. It's been unbelievable. It's been unbelievable. It's been one of the most amazing learning experiences you could have ever had the last few weeks to the last few months. So many things that are supposed to happen happened exactly. They did exactly what the technical analysis said they should have done. No arguments here with me. Like, you could say, oh, it's manipulation, oh, it's this and that, but it's all done what it's supposed to do. So I don't know. When I look back, I'm like, wow. And even in the moment, I can see it when it happens. It's not retrospect. It's happening in real time. We're seeing the systems and the teachings. So here we are now with the 1 hour time frame. 82,000 seems to be pretty strong. Locally, resistance, bounce, fall off, bounce, bounce. Now you're here. It's in the 21s crossing the 200. You got bunched up moving averages. Things are starting to look pretty cool for BTC, if you ask me. Right? And we're starting to make this, you know, this consolidation here that has me a bit tingly, because it tells me that we could start making a move on out of here. Now, it is a double top, but that's why you do one of two things. You know, you wait maybe 2 to 3 hours. If it goes sideways, we long. Stop below. We could still long right now with a stop below the 200 on the 1 hour. I'll do that on BitTinex just because we've already had a rock solid trade. This got to break above, though. Like, we're dealing with an issue there. But what I do know is if the 1 hour loses the 200, we're kind of in a bearish position as it is. Like, that's not what I'm, you know what I mean? It's going to be like, eh. I like the way the 21's crossing, and it is a Friday with low volume. I get it, but I'm trading the TA. Just like I traded the double bottom. Like, I would have traded this double bottom on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's a double bottom. I had to take what the market gave me. Now, the market hadn't double bottomed that clean in a long time. Like, not that big. There was some, you know, stuff, but not like that. That was a clean double bottom. Had to be taken. Now, you're saying, then why wouldn't you short this double top, Sam? If you're so into this simple stuff. Well, because I'm a moving average guy. And I know that the moving average trumps all, and we're above the 200 MA. And so it forces me to take into account some probabilities through my subconscious mind. You're here through my subconscious mind is racked through multiple price action scenarios and ideas. I've been on the 1 minute where I had to make split second decisions, right? The 30 second, the 1 hour. I swung trade the daily. I've traded the Toronto Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange. I traded gold, silver, you name it. I've been there. I've done it. It's been fun. All right. I've had a blast. I've traded multiple markets in my life at all different times. And bang, there we go on BitTinex. Just raise that, take profit. Move that stop loss. Dang. I always go a little harder than I would like. I got to get back. I guess I got to set up the trade early, but I love the fast motion of it. What's going on here? This happened to me yesterday. I was like pulling. Let's see here. Just pulling to take profit. There we go. I mean, it's 500 for 15. It's 500 for 1600. It's a viable trade, but on a Friday, again, I'd risk. You know, we made massive gains on that huge bump up on BitTinex the other day, and we made gains this last night. So we'd still be up on the week if I took this $500 hit, but it's like, do I want to do that? You know? I'd rather do like 2 for 6. You know what I mean? 3 for 9. It's a little high risk for me on a day where the volume's not that great. I do like what I'm seeing though, so I'm caught off guard here. I got to think about it. And this is kind of the, you know, I'm willing to lose the 5. I've thought about that. Like, the risk is there. But do I want to cover more or less risk? Is it worth, you know, am I going to get that hard if I don't make $2,000 on the move? I only make 900. Am I going to be like, oh man, no, you know? To me, I'm grateful for all the wins that I get. So again, if we get all the way up, actually, it's even more. It's about 2,000. It's a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio, but it's a very gutsy call. And there's an easier chance we just drop. I could lose this $500 in less than 10 minutes. It's very high risk. Be very careful. Please don't do what you see other people do on YouTube. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. All right. The 15-minute is above the 200 MA. We lose that. We're chopped liver. Got a bit of a diamond forming there too, in a way. And what I'm really looking for is just sideways price action for a while for Bitcoin. You know, I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit, right? And I don't know, you know, yeah, we'll see. $40 already though, right? Oh, look, they gave me a futures bonus for trading, so they can eat up 273. It's kind of nice. I mean, futures bonuses also can make you lazy. I get one randomly. That's the first time I got one there, but I got one randomly. Yeah, see, I don't know, high risk trading for sure. Probably better off to just stay away on Friday, wait for my next model on Tuesday through Thursday. You see, Fridays. But we'll see. We'll come back to it. It's high risk. Tight Bollinger Bands on the 1 minute. Treasury bonds is a disaster news. Yeah, I don't stress, man. To me, no news is a disaster because every day is such a blessing to be here and to be alive. So I've thought about my risk. I've managed it. If I take the hit, it is what it is. All right. Futures bonus will take half the hit, almost a third of it, almost half, more than half of it all. So there you go. You know, but again, I should, you know, you don't want to squander your bonuses just because you're getting them. You want to use them to take advantage. You know, the point of people are more risky, and then that you know that it kind of, you know, you want to be more disciplined with your bonus. Maxita is pretty good too with giving a bonus. You know, so if you trade a lot and you hit like a certain amount of volume, you're going to get a bonus, right? I don't get one because I'm special. It happens to whoever, you know. The bonus is you can't take the money out, but it will absorb losses, right? Gives you a little more confidence, right? You lose 500, you lose 300 of their money, 200 of your own money, right? That's all. But again, don't make it a habit to heighten up the risk. I think that's the point. You know, everything is a dangle. You know, don't let them dangle you. You know, that's why I always have a stop loss. Always have proper risk management. You know, stay focused. Shout out to Aries Gang. Shout out to Tony Rosas. Miami, baby. How do you feel about the 1 hour RSI coming down with a 50-minute oversold? 7.5 on 1 minute. Pointing down. I don't feel. Yeah. I just chill. I don't know. The stochastics are low. RSI is in a middle point. It bounces a lot from there. Yeah, I'm more of a stochastics RSI guy. They're kind of pointing up with a bounce. There's a chance we get a bounce here. You never know. I'm stochastics. I'm just looking for sideways price action and not to lose the 15-minute 200 MA. We lose the 15-minute 200 MA, I'll reassess the situation, and we'll go from there. And so kind of you see what I think, you see what I'm doing, and you see my thought process, and you see my trade. There's not much else I can say. All right, and we're going nicely sideways. And we woke up to $500, so I guess we break even if I lose this trade on the day. Otherwise, I make like, you know, $2,500 today. Peace and blessings to everyone. God bless you. Peace and blessings to you. All right. What about Flare coins? Yeah, I have no... Flare's all right. It is what it is. Moving forward, let's take a look at the coins here on Coin Market Cap and see what's happening on the day. We'll also take a look at some bubbles. Crypto bubbles over here. So Coin Market Cap, let's take a look. Bitcoin almost up 1% in 24 hours to 81,800. And think about Bitcoin at 81K. Like last night, I really took a long think, you know. And wow, XCN booming to the upside, doing damage, up 161% in 7 days. One of the hottest coins in the game. And I picked it up on the low. It's now ripping. XCN, baby. My bag of XCN. And I don't know, am I lucky? Am I right? Who knows? AB doing damage there, up 14%. Flare token up 1.5. Like you said, we'll take a look at Flare. You know, moving in the background there, these little coins that have connection to ISOs like XRP and more. But not much else to write home about. But wow, Onyx is the talk of the day there. XCN up 56%. That makes Sammy a happy camper. He's got a big old bag. Zcash, privacy coin up 4.6. It's basically a fork of Bitcoin. Zcash is interesting. It only has the circulating supply, 50 million. It has a very similar supply of Bitcoin. Look at that. Max supply, 21 million. This is a fork of Bitcoin, a privacy coin fork of Bitcoin. Look for Zcash to probably come out with, it's strong. And PAXG is gold. It represents gold, so that's why that's a strong coin too. You can trade that on MEXC, which is amazing, and other exchanges too as well. PAXG, USDT. The crypto market you covered for your diversification. And FATCOIN, dude, continues to rip up 24% again today. Big time virtual for the first time in a while. Jasmy, wow, we're seeing some movement in the altcoin space here. Pretty interesting. So Bitcoin doing okay at 81,009. We'll see what happens. I placed my trade. I put my money where my mouth is. You can run it back. I can run it back. We can take a look at it. It's down 55. I'm looking for sideways price action. The stop loss is at about 80,000, 79.9, about $2,000 away. I got some coverage with the 200 moving average holding me down. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's take a look at the inflation data coming in strong and good, right? Let's take a look at PPI and see what happened with PPI. So PPI came in at 0.1%, right? Forecast was 0.3, way better month over month, all right? Or negative, right? So they thought it was going to be up, but it was negative. All right, -4 instead of 0.2. Okay, so that's amazing. All right, that's good sign. They're paying less, right? The producer price index. All right, and never sit in the dark. You can ask Grok whatever you want, any question you want, all day. You can sit there. No one has to sit here and act like they don't know what's happening anymore. You can become super educated. All right. And look at Bitcoin looking like we may, we'll see where this trade goes, but I'm in there for hot swimwear, man. Let's go. Let's take a look at SWFT, SWIFT, USDT. One of the hotter coins. Someone asked about it as well, and it's been absolutely ripping. And again, Swift coin, like you think it's attached to the Swift, monetary, and again, it's got that beautiful little shoulder, head, right shoulder, that pattern, that idea. Again, I wouldn't jump in. It's a little late. It's like buying green candles. It does look like it may continue to pump, though. But definitely, it's like I want to be here and be selling off right now. Go to your daily, and you're getting just way too far away from the 21-day moving average. Even if this thing goes on another bit of a tear, looks like it may, though. I mean, what a move. What a move. And it broke a multi-month downtrend for sure. Like, it said, I'm done, no more. But now it looks like it's got to, flag out at one point. You got to pull a fib and start wondering, maybe a little more pump, a little more. But that fib, it's got to come back down somewhere to some support. It'd be nice if it makes sideways price action, pulls the 21, if it's really bullish. Let's take a look at my sweet baby deep book protocol and see how deep it got. Wow, all the way back to 5 cents. This thing is a steal at 5 cents. SWE gets back on track. Deep book protocol starts to rip yet again. Remember selling that top, man. This thing, we got in down here, kept loading up. Went from 4 to 30 cents. I mean, it's one of my greater calls. It's an 8X. And it did it from November to January, just like a month, 2 months you had to hold it to 8X your money in 60 days. I mean, this is one of my, I didn't see any other YouTuber really talk about it. Deep book has been my own kind of sleeper gem call, and we nailed it on as a group, and now Deep Book's ready for possibly more. Good chance to kind of maybe double back down into Deep Book. Again, I like Deep Book. It's up to you, and it's my own call, it's my own idea. I don't know the team. No one's paid me to talk about Deep Book. I don't do that stuff, and I do own some Deep Book still. So yes, it's my own bag here. But I like it back down to this key area. Looks like it could be double bottoming. High risk at the lows, though. There could be some better, some things with some better movement right now. Remember, PAL.ai was the talk of the town. It had that massive dump out of nowhere. And now, still good tech. Still an amazing, amazing piece of tech. It's a good team. Bit of a double bottom there. These are sleeper calls. See, nobody's talking about it right now. Everyone buys what everyone's talking about, but let's take a look at virtuals too now and see what's happening to virtual. Virtual protocol. Wow, this thing got slammed as well. All the way back down to 40 cents. This thing was at the height at $5. We started looking at down here, if you remember, at 30 cents. I gave the call here. I gave the call. I mean, it traded beautifully. For my system, it just kept doing what it was supposed to do. Like, it just kept making flags that hit the 21 and pumping. This was one of the nicest calls ever because it just made such a beautiful flag, right? Then this made a flag too. I gave these calls in the trading group. You can go back and find them. Giving virtuals at 30 cents, you know, and it would rip to $5. So we had a mini bull run already in the trading group, really. And I kept saying, you got to take some profits somewhere. Maybe not everywhere, but somewhere. And I took profits when I could. Do I see virtuals going back to a new high? Do I see it was its own kind of bull run in a way? The tech may change after that. The tech is so fast and there's so much AI going on that there may be something new coming out. But, you know, so it tells me I don't know if everything's going to make it back to its high. I would say so by the charts. But this had its own big run-up, you know. I still own it. If we have a huge run-up by Bitcoin, this thing will go to probably $10 a coin, right? And there's probably a 20x coming, but it takes guts to buy. I'm not a financial advisor. You'd have to, you know, understand that yourself. Shout out to Crypto Rick. He's asking about FLOKI. Crypto Rick, thank you so much. Let's take a look at FLOKI from Crypto Rick. On this beautiful Friday, God bless everybody here that's kicking it with me, changing their lives and getting involved. So you want to change your life, right? Like I did. So the first thing you got to do is understand when to buy and sell things without using your emotions, right? You started trading and you probably lost your hat. Most people did. Why? Because you didn't know technical analysis. You didn't know probability. You had no math working for you. You were just kind of out there on your own. That's like sailing a sailboat without a GPS and a compass. How the heck are you going to get anywhere if the wind switches around and you can't see the horizon in the fog? Well, then you're just going to be out there going any which direction. We got to get you on a pointed direction. We got to give you a compass. You got to be kind of watching. So you got to use moving averages. When they're close together, it's going to give you good buying opportunities. When they're far apart, it's going to tell you to be careful. You're going to be waiting for them to get tight now. You're going to be using the stochastics RSI with me. You're going to be flipping out to the weekly and seeing when things are very low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to buy, time to buy, time to buy, right? Now you're also going to see times when this line is above the dotted line. 1, 2, 3. You can see high, very high, very high. Not time to buy. Not time to buy. You understand? These two indicators alone, waiting for the moving average to be tight and waiting for this to be low, are now your superpower. Stochastics RSI and moving averages. That's how you can get started. You don't need to overwhelm yourself. Start small. One indicator at a time. Get yourself situated. You can do this too. I was not, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm a simple man. I work out and discipline myself. I give my mind the chemicals it needs to survive. I meditate, I work out, I walk in nature. I do things that help me stay aligned. I keep myself relaxed. I don't overstress. Understand? But I do have a heavy plate on my that makes me work hard. Nothing's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy living a poor life. It's not going to be easy living a rich life. Life is not easy. Nobody said it was. So you might as well get rich. That's Dan Pena, man. I take it from him. He says it's not easy, so you might as well get rich, man, because it's not going to be easy either way. But it's easier, like getting picked up in a nice car on your way somewhere than having to sit there and, hail a car or money can make it easier. It doesn't have to, and you don't need it. Fine, if you don't need it, you can help others with it then. Like if you're so pious that you don't want to use money at all. I love God and all that, but hey, I like the good things in life. My dad took me to dinners. My dad spoiled me. I like to spoil my kids. I like to spoil myself. I'm not gonna lie. I would never, But But the idea is to be grateful for every moment that we have, because it's really not about, can we live without? Yes, we could. Have I? Yes. And do we need it all? No. And that's another thing you can always give to others. Success isn't about your monetary abilities. It's about your ability to give. Money is just an energy. You are an energy form. Here you are in the universe. Money is flowing into you and out to others, right? Money comes into me through the channel, out to others. That's it. You buy real estate, a real estate agent gets a really nice commission because you decided to make that transaction, right? Boom. Someone gets to live. Taxes to the town, right? You have to hire a lawyer. You got to hire an inspector. Then you got to get, then there's some things that you want done to the house. So you hire, you hire a contractor. Look at all these people that work when you're successful. All right. There's so many other things. There was like a title insurance agency. The insurance agent gets a commission. Like, this one person does one thing, and look, everybody gets to eat, right? So your success creates success for others. Remind yourself of that every time. It's not greedy to want to desire a better life. It's not, because if you're middle class like me or taught like me, you grew up, you think you kind of feel guilty for having thoughts of grandeur. But your thoughts of grandeur, as long as they're positioned in an honorable manner that don't hurt anybody, they can benefit many, many people around you. Your success will benefit others. Believe that and keep that true, and believe that you deserve success, because doesn't the world deserve success? I think about the jobs I've had in the past because of a successful individual started a company. Thank God they did. I was able to I got a job. I worked for many different film companies where there was a couple that started the film company together, and had they not, So FLOKI's at a very low place. Previous support is resistance, bouncing off this key level. 48,550. I mean, I like FLOKI. I'm still in it. We bought it super low. We'll see what can happen here. I don't know. Our meme's going to come back. It suggested it may. It's on support. Previous support is resistance. I mean, you're not buying the highs, and you got really strong divergence here. One may wait for a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, right? A breakout and a retest. There's a nice gap in the VRVP here. Says you can get back up to that 9,800 area, right? Super chats, Jingle on Soul, FARTCOIN, AVAX, and SNAI. Let's take a look at AVAX and see what's happening to AVAX. Kind of the forgotten about chain, right? I mean, so all the coins looked like they were going to bounce, and all coins bled even more. It was pretty crazy, right? What happened? And you can see this looks just like FLOKI. It's making that little divergence. Possible double bottom here. That bullish divergence too. And almost says, hey, I'm about to skyrocket on the 3-day for a double bottom. Measured move takes it to about 29. And then if it flips the 200 MA, you're gone, right? I mean, that's what you're looking for. It does suggest it can get back to its all-time high, but unless a miracle happens, it looks like it may take some time. It says May of 2025, we could be back, though. Imagine that, 1 month from now, all these altcoins are back to the way they were. It could happen, and only the people that have the guts to buy. I mean, that would be 19 to 55. Be a little more than a double, but bang, bang, bang. Hey, Sam, can we check ALCH send it AVAX? Yeah, exactly. Someone said, why do you cancel your trades if you called it yesterday? Because I didn't trade it right. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I was tired. My mind wasn't there. I was up till 2 in the morning the night before. I had back pain. Because I'm not perfect. Yeah. Because you expect me to be perfect, but I'm not. Is that a great answer or not? Like, because I'm not a cyborg. I don't mind losing in front of you. I don't mind making the wrong decision. See, that's what's different between any other channel here. I never said I was perfect, and I never claimed to be. But if you come here a lot, I'm sure you're going to learn a lot, and you're probably going to hit a lot of gains with me over time. But it's up to you, man. You can hate on me or hate on yourself. I don't know. Usually people that hate on others are hating on themselves. So I love you, and I hope you find love in your heart. God bless you. I felt the need to address this not to give attention to the troll, but to show him that he never thought I would actually answer him straight-faced. And now he's like, wait, this guy doesn't care about losing trades? This guy admits that he loses and he's not perfect? Oh, my God. This guy isn't, oh, my gosh, this guy's a human being? Right? Yeah, if I was perfect, that'd be pretty boring. Again, right? Amen. Rare open in Art Gallery NYC. That's pretty cool. You're not a cyborg? I know, right? Amen. So, AVAX, it's looking like it could be your last chance for a possible. I mean, this does look like a bottom. But again, we got pretty, we hit resistance here. But it's a pretty low area. You're not buying the top again. But you got to have your own plan at the end of the day. ORCA getting a bit of a bounce. See, altcoins, there's going to be a time where they're fun again. I know nobody believes me, but it will happen fast. Before you know it, altcoins are fun again. And you're like, man, how did altcoins get fun again? I thought they were horrible. And you're like, no. And I'm like, yes, but we're like, no. Look, ORCA looks like it's getting ready to make a move. Sol getting ready to get back into action. All it needs is Bitcoin to breathe a slight resemblance of bullishness, and they're back in that pump not fun. They're back on those memes. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be sad, but memes are going to come back strong again. It's up to you. Can you fight the urge? I still hold my AI. I still hold some coins that I believe could bounce back too. My Colin's still doing its thing. It's still a swarm, right? I thought the swarm could overcome the markets, but I guess it couldn't. I was wrong. Watch the 15-minute here on ORCA. Possible that ORCA goes up to $4.41 here because it's part of the whole move. When ORCA's about to pump, you also want to take a look at Radium. And it tells you that Radium, Solana, the whole ecosystem's about to probably get a bit of a move. You want to know what the DEX is that's part of the bigger system. And so here you go, man. And then you got the flag there as well, ladies and gents. And again, this could easily dump to the downside on a double top. Be careful, but there's opportunity when there's fear. And there's a lot of shorts there that will get liquidated. If Bitcoin pumps, this is going to move. Solana's going to move. The charts are going to move. Again, it's high risk, high reward type stuff out here, and it could easily they could stop hunt too as well based on low volume. Put a dagger stop hunt and rip it back up. I've seen that. But I'm watching Radium closely too. It looks like it's going to get a pump possibly back to $2.03 at 2033 at 1677, 77.33. There again. I'm praying for the Pepe and Turbo. I bet big, but I know hey, you never know what could happen. I know Jupiter an all-time low. That's crazy. And let's take a look at SNAI, SNAI. Swarnode AI. Interesting. I mean, they're all, isn't that funny how everything's following Bitcoin in the same ascending triangle? Like I just put, Radium in this, Solana, they're all, and if Bitcoin completes this cycle, the cipher we call it, boom. I mean, this could make some moves here. Almost a 2 cent. And there's some support and resistance there too. Wow, gains of 28% for SNAI. I'll put an alert on this. I have no idea what it is. I've never heard of it before. Swarmnode.ai, but it sounds cool. Seems to be bouncing from the depths of hell, Bitcoin doing well, 82,000, trades flat here. Nothing to worry about though. We're sitting pretty. Only down $30, just chilling. The lifer style. We're going for 500 here on the loss. If we lose 545 to gain $1,986 on the trade. And we go from there. It would be cool to make gains tomorrow. Unlikely though, sideways all weekend possibly. And we'll see. Saw the tomahawk. Thank you. God bless you. Had a great birthday. Ate a giant tomahawk. Actually gave it back. I cut it into, had no meat on it. Was all fat. I brought the waiter over. I said, I said, I've eaten 4 or 5 of these a year. I said, usually I'm giving the meat away. I said, this has as much meat as a filet mignon. He said, what would you like? I said, just give me your regular ribeye. You know what I mean? And I waited 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and they brought me a regular ribeye. I sent that tomahawk back. I really did. True story. I shouldn't tell people that story because it kind of makes it sad, right? But hey, I'm not going to pay $143 for fat. Like, it was all fat. And I know you can say, well, that's the cut. You get what you get. But the waiter even said, when he looked at it, he said, and the waiter was an amazing waiter. He said, listen, I don't pay for these steaks. I want your experience to be amazing here. He's like, I'm going to get rid of this right away. What can I get you? Like, he had no, and that's the proper waiter. You know what I mean? Always send it back when it needs to go back. 100%. Shout out to Fid Sniper 786. But a lot of people won't do that. They won't stand their ground. They will not send the steak back. They'll eat it and they'll eat it. You know? Literally, I was going to pay $145 for fat. No. My man, please do Flair. I'll look at Flair. It was ranked second. I'll take a look at Flair for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to be rude to you. I'll take a look at Flair, man. Wagyu all day, pass on anything. I get the Wagyu. It's good. It's just a regular ribeye to me. I like it better than Wagyu. I just do. Wagyu's got a kind of an aftertaste to me. And I don't like dry aged. I've learned. I've had dry aged a bunch of times. I'm not a fan. It's got like a leathery taste, an aftertaste that I'm not a fan of. The meat is never, they say it's so tender. I don't know, man. It's never been as nice. I like a regular steak. I'm not into dry age. I know I should, but I'm not into it. Anyway, we'll get off steaks right now. But this is the trade right here for Bitcoin. And it's flipped green so far. We'll see what happens. We're basically at break even, but this is the trade. The entry is now, the stop loss is somewhere below 79,650. And they take profits at 90K. Maybe I won't go that far. Maybe I'll get out at this spiked area there at 87,000. We'll see. I'll move my stop loss into position and see what happens. But the second I get a bit of a pump, I will move my stop loss to break even and take advantage of lowering the risk. And SNAI looks interesting to me. I have an alert on it too as well. So you can see the market kind of sits on what happens to Bitcoin. Bitcoin flops over. They'll all flop. Most of them. Bitcoin maintains and it goes sideways at least. They could pump or pumps. So good times, right? Let's take a look at that S&P. I just want to make a gander. We're going to be adding it to the top-down analysis today. I feel like I just did that. It's so crazy. Like I just did the weekly top-down and macro analysis video. Like I just did it. I find that crazy. Could we get to $5,896? Starting to make a nice little flag. Bitcoin broke out of one of these recently. It is a symmetrical, go either way, but I like how it's consolidating the high volume node. You got the gap in the VRVP. Something to foreshadow for next week. A possible bounce for the S&P to the upside. Do we see the S&P go to the upside? Cut some meat off the trades. Amen. Have you, Wagyu, that's the daddy. Yeah. Everybody check out the flare cup and handle the 3-minute now. Bitcoin 85,350. It's the target. Hey, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So great news on Forex Factory today with the PPI. We woke up the gains on our last trade. Bitcoin pumping beautifully at 82,271. The trade's now up 3%. I told you I'm the king of 3%. You don't believe me, but I say it almost every day. I get to say it because I'm actually up 3%. So, hey. 1 hour CME gap filled at 85.9 coming soon. Thank you. Yeah. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. What do you think of the diamond patterns? They work out most of the time, but some people, you got to read them right and see them correctly. Not everybody sees them correctly, and not everyone, it's not always a diamond. Yeah. I grew up at a ranch, 145 could buy you 1/8 of a cow. Amen. They're already making 5x on steaks. You can replace it a few times and still make money. It's so crazy. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Super chat, JNG Soul Master in FARTCOIN. So let's take a look at Jingle Soul. And look at FARTCOIN just ripping to the upside out this flag and just booming. I figured it would have to come back to the 21 a bit. Eventually it will, but this thing is on a tear. FARTCOIN is up more than almost any other thing from the bottom. And it shows, I mean, whenever there's a dip, we almost always recover. Just like whenever there's a pump, we almost don't. People just assume we're going to continue down more because the downward, look at that rounded top. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Like, that thing's coming down, baby. I don't see how that doesn't go back to $2, right? Oh, wow. It was just 28 cents. It's now 88 cents again. FARTCOIN on a tear back to the upside. I'd still want to wait for some consolidation than chase a green candle, but man, the thing is on a moon mission. And now it's kind of flagging out here. Hey, I would just continue these little flags until one of them breaks down worse, you know. Says you could be at $1.09 before you know it here for FATcoin. Fat coin over here. Crazy. It's doing numbers yet again. Almost back to $1 billion market cap for FARTCOIN. Jelly on XRP, right? I don't know about ripping. No. Unless we're talking about a different coin. Sam, you deserve 1 million subscribers. You're giving education for free, but that's great. God bless you, man. Thank you. The key is to connect to people. You know, shout out to the 668 likes on the live, 1,910 people on the live stream. We've had up to 2,000 people or more. 3733 in chat revenue. Thank you so much. You didn't have to give, but you did. Shout out to anyone that gave a like, anyone that subscribed, anyone and everyone. Please subscribe to the channel. On our way to 95,000 subscribers, and then I can taste that 100K. I'm on that tree. I can see the 100K fruit. I'm reaching for it, but I can't get there without your help. Push me up. Help me climb that tree. Help me. I need your help. I'm asking for your help. I can't do it without you. I need y'all. I need each and every one of you to hit that like button, to subscribe to the channel. Hi, my name's Sam Price. Nice to meet you. I'm the Crypto Lifer. I go live every single day. I haven't taken a day off since February of 2021. I'm not your average YouTuber that just shows up 3 times a week and expects I stayed so dedicated, it's ridiculous. I gave my life to this channel, and I'll continue to teach you how to find your way in cryptocurrency and technical analysis. Let's take a look at this jingle thing here, JNGL on Sol. Token jingle, tiny market cap. I don't know, man. I hope it goes well for you. I'm moving on. God bless you, though. Let's take a look at MSTR, Master, which is micro strategy on the NASDAQ. Okay. So many moons ago, I predicted that this would be a bottom right there. Okay. We did break out. We came back down, but we got a slight higher low. And to me, it's almost a bit of a cup and handle. And it's doing just like Bitcoin's doing. It's retesting the high of the channel. But to me, this didn't go back inside the channel. Like, you can say it is really retesting the top of the channel. I'd expect the bounce here from MicroStrategy up to $400. I believe this is a great place to buy. If you need to stop below the 200 on the daily, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. But I'm making a call right here, right now, that this is a MicroStrategy buy, and it's about to pop to 400. People are going to look back and be like, dang. And then when it's $700, because it holds more Bitcoin than anybody else in the game, and Bitcoin's going to rip, and everyone's going to realize it was the smartest move that Michael Saylor ever made. Anyone that doubts him just doesn't understand Bitcoin. I think the younger the generation, the more they don't get it. The more old school you are, the more it makes sense. He's spot on and going to continue to win. And I see MicroStrategy making a move up to $400. I see it happening in 3 weeks. So let's see if I'm right. By May 8th or 9th. All right. You could try to hold me to that move. And I'm getting a diamond vibes here on Bitcoin Thoughts. Nah, not happening. Liver's an admirable example of what selfless service looks like. Thank you for the education and the good vibes. Shout out to Mad B. We love you, man. What about Cygnus What have you, Convert, or Flu? Have you been doing a live stream? That's crazy dedication. I live streamed through every single sickness I ever had. No matter how sick I was, I just did the live stream for 40 minutes and I told everyone I'm so sick. I've lost my voice and still done it. Yeah. I never missed. You can ask everybody here. Has anyone seen me miss a stream since February of 2021? Anybody? Can anyone say, yes, I know the day and prove it that I missed a stream? Has anyone been to every stream since February of 2021? Anybody out there? I was there, Master Friend, amen. Sentio finally coming off the floor. Amazing. Nope. Do we move the stop loss? Exactly. Never missed a day, my friend. Jamal Antonio. Amen. Shout out to Jamal. I love you, man. I have 10,000 he calls a master. Yes, first time. This guy says, never missed since I've been watching for 3 years. Psycho Bear. Yeah. No one's been more consistent when it comes to showing up to the stream than you, Sammy. God bless you, man. You're funny. Been here 2022. You stream every day. Amen. But God bless you all. I love you. I love you. So, yeah, Master looks good to me too. I like what we're seeing here. And let's talk about all the fan funding and spend some time just shouting out some people here that are awesome. I remember you streamed for your car when you didn't have the internet. Amen, brother. Amen. You do what you have to do whenever you have to do it to get it done. No excuses, no reasons to say no, only reasons to get it done. Anytime you find yourself in a state or an obstacle, that's just the universe trying to find out if you have what it takes. That's not your time to turn around. Shout out to Reliable J. Shout out to Lazaro Alberto. We love you, man. Shout out to Kristen Michelet. Shout out to Rin Tin Tin. Shout out to Mos Exact. Sam, XEN and Swift looking at tandem. Let's take a look at XEN. And we looked at FLOKI from Crypto Rick. Thank you, Crypto Rick. We looked at the AVAX chart from Lanef, Hooks HXD, and TA and FARTCOIN. I asked earlier, we looked at that too. And what about SNAI? Thank you, we looked at that. That looks good to me. Thank you, Kenneth Thompson. And Jiggle on Dex, check it on your Phantom, best sold developer tools in the business. Interesting. Hey, brother, could you take a look at MicroStrategy? And we did that too as well, Manuel. So I just wanted to say shout out to Manuel, Satoshi BTC, Kenneth Thompson, Lazaro Alberto, Lenef Hood, and Crypto Rick Ali G, Mozak, Motozak, Christian Michelet, Swede Bid McGee for $199. Almost missed you there, so sorry. Rin Tin Tin, and Reliable J. God bless you all. Thank you so much for making the stream awesome, fun, and attentive, and for giving. You didn't have to give, but you did, and I'm greatly appreciative of that. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you. Okay, so moving forward, one other thing that we want to check is the health of the move. And right now, we're nicely up at $82,500. Bitcoin ripping. All right, and the trade's now up. You are up. If you took the trade up 10%, you know. And so, wow, a pretty big move here for Bitcoin to 82.5. And we're kind of staying right in the pocket where we want to. And my trade is green. Nothing you can really say about the lifer. Can you take a look at XCN and XRP? Yes, we can. Let's take a look at XCN on the live. So huge move for XCN. Out of nowhere, really back to kind of, you know, we're in profits now from my DCA. So like, you know, you buy these bear market lows and I guess, you know, you do get rewarded. Now we're pretty far away from the daily. You would think this thing would probably come back down pretty nastily at one point. Maybe retest one of these lows, one of these, you know, resistance. Spend, I don't know, about a week pulling back, maybe even 2 weeks. This was a huge move. Or something else brewing that's going to propel this puppy further to the upside. The 1 hour just was on a massive tear. 15-minute looks like it may continue to move too. So you can flag out the smaller time frames. I'd be wary on that 4 hour at least that we're going to have to pull back at some point. And I'd keep the daily in mind as well. So if you're swing trading, if I was in a trade, I would be taking, again, you do whatever makes you happy. But I would be taking some profits right now because, I mean, that was a straight pump. Now, long term, I'm in there, so it is what it is. My trade got saved even though I missed that quick dump and got to set those stop losses in profit more often. Thanks again for the constant inspiration, brother. Peace and blessings. It's going to happen, man. The day you least expect it is the day you're going to get inspired if you keep pushing. I'm telling you, man, I go through downs like everybody else. There's days where my channel gets less hits or, you know, the views are down. You know, people leave the group. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I lost a trade live and it just looks like everything's, you know, it just looks like it's not that day for me. And I can get down on myself. And on days like that, you know what I do? I say, dear Lord, thank you for my children that are healthy today. I said, if I had made tons of gains, on the days I lose money, I say to myself, if I had made tons of money today and my kids weren't healthy, would I have cared about the money? No. I said, so why should I care about the loss right now if my kids are healthy? I said I shouldn't. Again, you can't just like overlook losses and throw money away. But there's days where it's not, as a trader, you're not going to win. And those are the days where I dig into gratitude even deeper. And I find it. And I'm, you know, now I'm trained to do that. My brain is trained to find, optimistic views in the darkest of dark times. I pointed out yesterday that I made this stream out of being in the dumps, man. You got to fight through the dumps. My story is your story. When I talk about myself, I'm talking about you. We're the same people, man. We're humans fighting through the same struggle, pushing ourselves through every single day. Nobody can do it for us but ourselves. Nobody can be there for ourselves but us. You're your best friend or your own worst enemy day in and day out. You know it and I know it. Repeat that over and over again. You've got to find a way to be mentally stable. You've got to find a way to become your friend. You've got to get off the drugs and alcohol. You've got to get off the substances that are depressing you. Alcohol is a depressant. It's going to do nothing for you but eventually depress you. Those times of euphoria that you feel good watching the game with friends, and it's eventually going to lead to a depressing feeling over time. You will feel better being free of alcohol. Trust me. I haven't drinking it in so long, I don't remember. And it's just not worth it. Give yourself a break. You deserve it. Give yourself a chance. You deserve it. How would you be if you actually were at your optimal? What could you accomplish if you worked out every single day? Who would you become if you pushed yourself to be someone greater than you thought you could become every day? What if you listened to motivational mindset every single day with me or Jim Rohn? And every single day you realized that you had to push yourself a little harder than the day before. Now, success isn't going to happen overnight. It's not something you're going to do like this and snap your fingers. But it's the consistent action over time that's going to create success. Over and over and over again. Success is the consistent behavior that attracts success. What are you going to start consistently today? A mindful meditation in the morning. Are you going to wake up 10 minutes earlier and do 20-minute, push-ups and sit-ups? Are you going to start a morning routine that involves working out to inspire the mind and the body and keep yourself pushing? These are important concepts that every single successful person embodies. I just want you to be happy and live a great life. If you can do these things that I'm teaching you, then you will. It starts small. We don't overwhelm ourselves, and then we begin to grow. And that's how we do it. Some of the most successful people, I learned some things about some of the most successful people online, fell into it. Didn't even want to become big online. Just were pushing themselves to do what they love to do and follow their heart. And eventually, online created an opportunity for them. I'm a guy who just wanted to stream and trade, man. I loved it. I loved it so much. I wanted to share it with as many people as I could find, and I wanted to change their lives. That was me. I do it every single day. It fulfills me. I feel great. I like to inspire people and make them feel better. I want you to know that you can. I like to talk about my life and my story. People say I boast. Yeah, I do. I boast about my pain. I boast about being down and out. I boast about being in debt. I boast about working a night shift. I boast about losing my job and starting to stream in the midst of COVID. Everyone likes to say I boast. Yeah, I boast about the nasty pain I've been through financially. I boast about not being able to save money. I boast about not taking care of myself. I boast about drinking too much. Yeah, these are things that weren't good for me, and I want you to know about them. I want you to know about me. I want you to know about the good and the bad. Because without the good, without the bad, you won't understand what I had to do to get here. And until you do it too, you won't fully get it as well. It's every single day, no matter what. All right? My father-in-law, who's a doctor, told me doctors aren't necessarily the smartest people, but they have the ability to focus for long periods of time. No doctor's that smart. You kidding me? They read books, man. Go to school. Let's get real. Sam, bro, I lost your number when my phone got washed. Shoot me a message when you get a chance. Amen, my friend. XCN listed on Binance Futures, and that thing's going to rip. So watch XRP. 4 hour above a 200 MA is a bullish sign. Bit of a double bottom here as well. And, you know, XRP back. Sorry, I'm on XPR. So sorry. XPR looks like it could rip. XPR looks bullish to me. Well, now let's look at XRP. That's happened before. That ain't the first time. It looks similar in the flag. Wow, they really want me to show XPR now. So let's take a look at the weekly. Whenever I'm looking at a coin, I want to look at it on the weekly big time frame. So wow, it did break the head and shoulder. It made the head and shoulder. It did dump like it was supposed to. So that's clear. Because, you know, that pattern had to dump. Like, you weren't going to get away with that. But it held $2 pretty nicely if you think about it. And people only got a dip to get it at 130, but 130 ain't bad, right? Wow. And anyone who bought the fear, man, and those nasty dumps, telling you that fear and greed index probably at 38 now, right? 25 today, really? This thing funny every time is, you know, should have been way lower the other day. Should have been. I feel like it should be a little. But hey, 25 ain't bad. Still gives you chances to accumulate. Remember, I bought that whole Bitcoin at $84,000. I'm still not shy to talk about it. Some say those still possibly shoulder, head, right shoulder. Still possible that it could dump. But I like that wick on the weekly. Oversold. You know, you got some. You know, no hidden bullish there. Some hidden bullish on the 3-day, though. That pulls down while, yeah, there's some hidden bullish on the 3-day chart. Swing down here because you would take the swing all the way down to there, and this is definitely an uptrend. So hidden bullish divergence tells me that the trend will continue. We'll break this high before we break this low. On our way to a $4.80 XRPZ. We got 2 support of resistance on the 3-day, but that looks pretty bullish to me as well. You pull your Fibonacci and you wick to the 618 golden pocket. I mean, I don't know what else you want. That's insanity. That's awesome. I mean, that's amazing. Every single day, Sammy cup and Hattie to the upside. Remember the stream? Man, the stream has evolved so much throughout time and space. And you got to change it up. It can't be the same. We got to evolve together every single day, pushing ourselves to the limit. And everyone thinks trading is like, you know, you sit and you wait, man. You patiently hang. You do your thing and you make your gains at the right moment and you keep adding over time. You either get stopped out or you make your gains. You go from there. I like XRP here, bouncing off the 618 golden pocket. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 477 by August. Yeah. Yeah, we're so used to dumping. Yeah, exactly. We don't care. They did so much. That's the one thing they did, man. They played at games with the price so much, we just don't care anymore. Shout out to Patrick Bateman. Happy Friday. Shout out to Egg Stastic. Shout out to Sean Behringer. So funny. Egg Day forever. Sean, show the 6-month XRP to Ethereum dominance chart. Funny. And later on, we're going to do our top-down macro analysis that I post, you know, somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock today. And we're going to be going over gold, total 3. You know, S&P futures, the NASDAQ, the DXY. It's going to be a blast. So look out for that. That's coming later on today. My Friday macro analysis video that comes out every single Friday. So XRP looking very interesting to me for another pump further up to 470, 480 for XRP. Let's take a look at Super Chat on Ethereum. ETH, and more ETH. Now, ETH, the most bearish chart in the game. I don't know what's up with ETH. Kind of sad. But it does have an infinite supply. Might have something to do with it. I don't know. You tell me. Beautiful uptrend broken. Bitcoin's still in a great uptrend, you know. Bitcoin has that low, has a high, and way above it, making a lower high or low. Like, this just broke its lower high. Like, it has resistance at 2,300. It's got to break back above that main resistance for me to even take it somewhat seriously. It's got to break back above this resistance for me to take it somewhat seriously. You could say, okay, it's got some support here, some major support, yeah. But it's, you know, it's right on it. If it loses that, it drops down to $1,160. Everyone says too much is going into ETH. You know, they're buying tons of ETH. BlackRock just bought ETH. ETH, and more ETH. I don't know. Just something tells me to be wary. If ETH does pump, it's going to follow Bitcoin. It's going to make an inverted head and shoulder breakout. You're looking for the retest of 2,270 for it to go through the gap back to 3,350, up to 3,350. And there's going to be a resistance probably at 2,800 because that's what it is. And there's some chop right there too. But good gap of the VRVP. Once you get above 2,700, it looks like you can fly to 33 pretty fast. So you're looking for this to break out, make a right shoulder, and get on out of here with a cup in handy to the upside. It's very oversold. There's some bullish divvy. You suggest this has to be the bottom at this point. Otherwise, we are going into some type of longer bear market. I mean, it's like, you know. Someone says, time for Sol to flip ETH. Yeah, let's take a look at the Sol ETH chart. And it already did. I mean, it double bottomed beautifully. Sol's ripping on ETH. And I told people this yesterday. I said, you know, you're not going to wait for ETH to pump. I said the leaders of the pack are now Sol and Say, you know, when you see Deep Book rip, that's when you know that the altcoin market, when you see Juke rip, you know, when you see, you know, Aave starting to pump, that's because, you know, last time the pump started with Aave, I don't know if you remember, Aave started the pump. Aave started pumping first. DeFi started pumping first because people, insiders, they knew something was going to happen. So they start grabbing that APY on the low first with their stables. And they pump the price of the, you know, so I've learned kind of as a secret sauce, like you'll see like out of nowhere, DYDX just start pumping. But that's a double bottom, right, on Sol Ethereum. And that thing is just going to rip. I think Sol, you know, selling all your Ethereum for Sol is a good, is telling me this is a great look. I could be wrong, but I would sell every piece of ETH for Solana right now if I held too much. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. I just got a Bitcoin tie on. But look, you got some Bitcoin miner. It's got a little wallet. It's got Bitcoin. It's a fun little Bitcoin tie I love to wear. Goes well with this jacket. I always have fun with it. GALA, please, Sam. Happy belated. Shout out to James Myers, who sent in a $5 super chat all the way from Cancun, Mexico. No, I'm just... But shout out to James Myers. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You didn't have to give what you did. That will come back to you tenfold. God bless you. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats along the way here. All right. And let's take a look here at GALA. USDT. I hold GALA long term. I believe in it. Tom, why'd you get him with that curly head kid? You know, I told you to get into GALA with me on the rock. It's the best, dude. I played a cop. I played a fireman. It doesn't matter, Tommy. I can get it done. I can do this. I'm a peacock. Let me fly, Tommy. Tom went with the curly head kid. Got with FTX. Lost all his money and lost his girl. I told him not to do it. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I approve this message. So look, can we get this bigger move here for GALA? Word on the street is that Mark Wahlberg invested in GALA. That, you know, I don't know if that I can't confirm or deny that though. So it is a rumor, right? So, but I thought him and The Rock both kind of tossed some coin in there. I mean, it's a great gaming studio. When gaming really starts to rip, how does gaming and crypto not just? It's almost like they're getting ready for this, but they, you know, this is the lowest it's ever been in a long time too. Back to 1.5 of a penny, and this thing's been like what, 94 cents. At the height, it was 81 cents, 82 cents. We got it in at the lows back then too. So November of 2021. The gaming never really had the rally. It got a little high there in March of 2024. It got back to 8 cents. And it was a penny. I mean, it did a little over a 4x, but we never got the gaming rally. I still hold this coin long term. We'll see what happens. I'm still in it, and I'm not willing to give it up. So, shout out to Antoine Lemon. Thank you for becoming a member. God bless you. You didn't have to, but you did. All right. I was totally thinking he got Bitcoin Tyon earlier. I don't know. That's funny. If you're buying GALA 1 cent, it's an easy 10 to 20x. GALA was my best last cycle. I know, right? B3 on base could be a great gaming. I did look at B3 a while back, but it just, right? What has it done since then? Nothing. You know, it's fallen off. So, it's very low now. I'd look for it to do, you know, it's got to show me something. Get above the 200 MA on the 15. I guess it did there. Look how that started a pump, even as low as that is, right? And you can almost kind of trap it here and say, well, that's what it's doing. Felt like it even almost broke out already there. It's got a nice gap in the VRVP. I'm not trading this low volume, just something to watch there. B3, newer coin. Looks like it's in a giant inverted too. And that's got a measured move. You know, basically latching on there to 44443. Good morning, Sam. Can you please say shout out to your birthday? Hope you had a good time. Let's take a look at AERGO for your brother. Have a great day. Let's take a look at AERGO for Rudy and his brother out there in Vegas. You know, this coin's been hot compared to the rest of the market. It's got this shoulder, head, right shoulder kind of vibe to it. It's consolidating. The one thing is like how far it is on the bigger time frames. I like the ascending triangle. Look for the bounce. If it gets the bounce, then I'd be more willing to kind of stay in the trade or get the trade. All right. It's got a nice measured move. Seems like it can get back to 34 cents. This thing's been on fire. Even when Bitcoin was whack, it was on fire. Now Bitcoin's hot. And so you would only suggest that this thing could continue to rip. It's very high risk, though. The rest, it's been ripping, right? So look, I mean, you're away from the 21 and the 4. It could still pull up, though. I mean, the last time it just flagged out here. So this thing's been on fire. I don't like to buy things when they're too high. Like, could be a good time to take some profits if you're already in it. It's a little high risk at this point, right? It's getting higher and higher. Look how far the daily is from the 20, the 200, the 21. Very far. And so you would think this is probably going to come back down. So if you get sucked into the smaller time frame, there's a chance you can get bullied. So whenever I see a nice flag like this, and it's even kind of a shoulder, head, right shoulder, it may, you know, again, it's enticing because it seems so bullish. So the smart move is to either wait, stop loss maybe below here if you can take it, but wait for it to kind of double out retest, and that would be a trade. But it does look like it could crumble down. The bigger time frames tell me that if I take this trade, I have to be okay with losing it. Now, if the bigger time frames were daily pushing up, I take this trade being like, man, 90% I'm going to win. It's more of a 50-50 now because of the fact that the daily's a little overbought. You got to take that into account. I don't know what's going to happen, but you got to take that into account. You just have to. Let's take a look at UFD, USDT. And shout out to everybody here. If you want to jump on in and get more knowledge from me, you can go to CryptoLifer.com to find out more. Go to CryptoLifer.com. You can subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription. I can't wait to see you there. God bless you. All right. So UFD, Unicorn, Fort Dust, everything is doing what Bitcoin's doing. They're all in this same kind of ascending triangle getting tight. Bitcoin rips. It looks like it's going to take the whole market, rip it with it. I actually liked UFD. It got me a little going last time. I just felt like it had that je ne sais quoi. You know, that meme coin. I can't believe I'm back on a meme right now saying that. Oh my God, they already got me. And it's been a 4 minutes. But this does look like it could pump if Bitcoin pumps. There does look like there's some action here. So, wow. We've gone over more altcoins today than we had in weeks. I got to tell you something. Are we going to get altcoin weekend? Looks like we might get a pump this weekend in the altcoins. You know. Dump to 10K in the turbo all-time highs. Please tell me there's hope of recovery. I don't know, man, what you're saying. Let's take a look at Flare. FLR USD. It should be on Coinbase. Yeah, there it is. So Flare, nice little pump there. Let's take a look at the daily. So yeah, it's like an unknown. It's a coin we all got for free. You know, no one really cares about it except for like these super high-end XRP nerds. No, seriously, I'm being honest. If be honest, if you like Flare, you're a high-end XRP nerd, man. Like, I like Flare. I was into it's like whatever now, you know. It's above its 200 MA on the 4, getting the 21 coming. And everyone thinks that, you know, I mean, hey, that's actually pretty sweet. There's a nice little pump there. That looks like it may continue. And Flare may be starting something huge that, you know, maybe big gains come out of Flare. I've never been a huge fan, but if XRP rips and the ecosystem rips, I mean, Flare was an airdrop with XRP. You'd think it would get a pump. Get to 1.9 and we'll talk about it again. All right. I love the saying, the money is made of the moves. Patience will be rewarded as long as you're in the game. Amen. Bitcoin gonna hit the CME gap at 85,900 this weekend. And you say there's a CME gap at 85.9 right up there, yeah. 85,750. Little gap up there. And it does look like we're about to come and eat that gap up alive. So show us the money, baby. Show us the money for Bitcoin. And so that's a beautiful day, man. We made a live trade in front of you that's still up 7%. You can't beat that, right? 7% a day keeps the doctor away. I put my money where my mouth is. I gave you a long-term analysis. We talked about many different ideas. I showed you what I used to talk about Bitcoin years ago and how it played out. I assured you I'm the real deal. I'm here every day. We talked about life. We talked about pushing ourselves, and we talked about motivating and just getting ourselves in position. I talked about how working out is a key component to becoming successful because it creates the endorphins inside of the mind to help you become a good trader. And we talked about how we started the live stream, which this being a place in my Discord where you can really become the best version of yourself. I hope today you had a great time with me on the live. I hope you learned a lot about technical analysis and just pushing yourself to the limit. I love each and every one of you. TA is my life. I love technical analysis, but I like working out. I like pushing myself too. And God bless you all for being here. Thank you so much. If you learned something, if you gained something, hit the like button. Hit a 333 in the comment section if you're loving your life and you're positive. And have no fear. You know, we are the opportunity. If we keep believing that, opportunity is coming our way. We got to believe it, though. We got to believe it. So if we keep pushing, opportunity is coming our way. If we believe we're opportunity, then we are. You know, because reality will respond to that thought process. I am an opportunity. Something big is coming my way in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Repeat after me. I can, I am, I will. I am, I will, right? You can, you will, you are the best. You've got this. God bless everybody. And you know, there's a secret to success. Every single multimillionaire and billionaire, I've read it in books. I went to seminars. I listened to mentors. And you know what it was? The secret to success. The secret to success. There's a secret. It's amazing, too, because it's like, you can learn it right here, right now. You know what the secret to success is? It's getting started.